Hey, it's Tommy Explores here and welcome back to the channel. For this video, I'm going to try and update my Tesla using the Starlink. So I've done a couple videos before about the Starlink. One where I showed me going and picking it up, and then another one where I showed me using it for the first time, setting it up and doing some speed tests. Today, I'm back in the same spot where I did the original speed tests and setup, and I'm going to be plugging in the Starlink again, and I'm going to try and give it enough time to calibrate as much as it needs to, and then download the update onto the Tesla using the Starlink. So let's go, let's get it out of the box and let's start setting it up. Here's a Starlink, and I have got a cable that I got off Amazon that will allow me to charge it via the Tesla. So first part of it is this bit that goes into the lighter port, and then it's got a USB-C that goes into this bit, and then finally we have this bit. This is a bit that powers the Starlink. So I'm going to put this into the base, plug it into the car, and then some power should be going through, and we can then set it up so that it's facing the right way and start trying to calibrate and get some downloads going and update the Tesla using the Starlink. So first thing I've done is plug it in. I've now put it on the roof and I'm waiting for it to figure out the alignment so that I can then tilt it or change it as needed to make sure it's facing the satellite properly. So I'm just going to have a look on the app. So it says turn Starlink to match the target. So I'm going to have to rotate it, and then the app will tell me when it's pointing in the right direction. So as you saw there, it was a pretty small adjustment that I needed to do, and now it's saying that it's aligned properly. So let's see if we're making any progress, if we're getting any pings, or great. So it's saying it's online. We'll do a speed test. Bear in mind that it's been plugged in for like a few minutes. Wow, we are getting 150 on the download, which is double what it was last time. And the upload's a lot higher as well. So it's saying 16, 22. So the final speed result for the Starlink, while it's plugged into the Tesla, is 121 download, 23 upload, and I think 26 is the latency. So that's way faster than in the last video when we first set it up. I don't know what the difference is today. I'm in the exact same spot, so I don't know. I don't know what would cause that to be different. I'd say the weather's actually a bit worse today than it was when we were doing the other video. So what I'm going to do now is connect the Tesla to the Starlink on the Wi-Fi. Okay, so it's connected to the Wi-Fi. Now let's go onto software and let's see. So it's not downloading yet. It says it's connected and it does say it's downloading the software update. All right, the Tesla is officially downloading the update while it's connected to the Starlink, and it's getting 3.5 megabits per second. But I don't think that's to do with the Starlink speed. I think that's to do with Tesla and their servers, because my understanding is that they're constantly having these updates downloaded, so they don't have capacity. So we'll just have to be patient now and wait for it to download, and then once it has, we will have officially been able to update Tesla using the Starlink. So it started raining here, but that doesn't seem to be having any effect on the Starlink. So I've just started doing another speed test and it seems to vary quite a lot. So we're now hitting around 230 megabits per second, which again is way faster than the previous test. An upload seems to be at around 18, 19. So I'm actually amazed for the connection, and I just used FaceTime to see if there was any sort of lag or connection issues or latency, stuff like that. And it went fine. There were no issues with the connection. So I'm actually really impressed at how good Starlink seems to be. And again, just before that, we could go exploring and we can have this Starlink with us and be able to upload content and still work is mega. Is really cool. The update's still going. It's making progress, but it's pretty slow. I think that's just the Tesla servers and the amount of people trying to download the updates. So you can see it's doing 4.3 on there. We need it to get to there. So we'll wait a bit longer. And I want to make sure we download the full update so we can say that we updated the Tesla using the Starlink. And that's another good thing about if we're doing these road trips or adventures and camping in the car or just going off grid, we're still able to get these updates done on Tesla as needed so that we've got got the latest system running. So the app is saying that I've used 5 gigabytes already just from doing these tests. So over the last video and this video, yeah, I've managed to use that much. In the plan, there's only 50 gigabytes. So I could see me kind of running out of data pretty quickly. So I feel like if you want to use it properly for traveling, you're going to need to get the unlimited, which is double the price, I think. So £50 for the 50 gigabytes or £100, maybe it's £90, £90, £100 to get unlimited data. So anyway, we'll keep going with this 50 gigabyte plan just to see how it goes. But yeah, we'll have to look and see. Potentially, we're going to need to give unlimited if we're going to be gearing up, do more traveling, but yeah, we'll have a look. So while we're waiting for this Tesla update to finish, I just want to give a quick overview of my plans for the next adventures I've got lined up. So first one I'm going to do is try out camping in the Tesla overnight. I didn't realize the Tesla update was so big, but my usage is now nearer to 7 gigabytes. So it's definitely a good few gigabytes so far that we've been downloading to get this update. It's making progress on the bar, but it's still slow going. So first thing I'm going to do is take the car out to the Peak District and have a go at actually camping and sleeping in it for the night. I have no idea if I'm going to enjoy this, but I thought it's worth a go. And then I'll probably figure out if there's more kit or gear I need to make it more comfortable. So then I can factor that in before I go on my first proper adventure in the car. And then after that test in the peaks, I'm planning to do a trip in Wales. So I'm going to do a good stretch of it, probably go around most of the kind of west coast down to the south and then back up maybe over 4 or 5 days. And for that, I'm thinking I'll do one night in Tesla, then one night in a hotel or Airbnb and just do that cycle for 4 or 5 days and see how I get on. And then some other places I've got in mind will be Scotland, maybe going into Europe. And I've got one place which I'm really excited about. It's pretty far away. You know, there's no way I'd get there in my car, but I'm going to look into potentially renting a car out there. And it's a place I've always wanted to visit. I think it'll be amazing to go out there and travel. So if you're interested to find out more, then please consider subscribing to the channel. You can see how I get on with these camping trips and adventures in Wales, Scotland, and somewhere across the pond. I think it'll be a really fun series. Hope you come along for that. All right, let's see how the car's doing with the update. It looks to me like it's around 85-90% there. So we're nearly there. So seeing how we've used almost 10 gigabytes of data to download this update, it would be really cool if Starlink allowed you to do the downloads for the Tesla updates without it using your data, seeing how the two companies are like closely related. So doing this update is not quick. I think we've been here for about an hour now. So you need to keep that in mind if you're planning to update the Tesla using the Starlink. Just make sure you've got enough time and you don't mind being parked up for a while. It looks like we're on like 90%. So I reckon 5 minutes and we should be there. And that's it. We did it. We officially downloaded the Tesla update via the Starlink. It took just over an hour. It was about 10 gigabytes or more. So not the most efficient use of time or data, but it's good to know that if you are planning to go on some really long adventures where you genuinely think you will not have any Wi-Fi for a long amount of time and you might need to update your Tesla, that you can do it. You can use the Starlink and you can make sure you've got the latest software on there. And I actually just tried to test leaving the Starlink running and going out the car for a bit to make sure that it could still download the updates without me having to be here. And it did work. So you have to change on the settings to keep the power on for the accessories. If that power cuts out, then the Starlink will go off and you'll have to restart it, which will take some time and it will probably cancel the whole download. So you just need to keep that in mind. And then something else that happened is when I walked away, the Tesla closed the window and I've got the wire like running out through it and I can see it's like put a dent into the cable. I think it's okay now, but if I kept doing that, then I think the cable would break really soon. So just another PSA, leave a little gap in the window so that the cable can run through. And then next thing I'm going to try out doing a day's work while using the Starlink. And then I'm also going to try camping overnight in the Tesla before I go on to do this trip around Wales. And then I'll be doing some adventures across the pond as well, which I'm really excited to share with you. So if you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video.